Thank you for subscribing to the app at Melody Music Publishers. I'm Kathy Kerr, owner and founder, educator, and author. The series Drill and Excel on the Piano was written to offer a complete foundation in ordered steps for information and skills on the piano, using drills and repetition to master each concept. The goal is to allow students to sight read, not count read, much like reading a book, using proper technique and skills. This book series makes that possible. There are 4 books in the series with 3 chapters each and multiple sections in each chapter. Worksheets for written assignments for theory, notes, intervals, triads, and chords, timed notes, rhythm drills, scales, exercises, special exercises, and 20 original songs. Most weekly assignments will include something from each section. A steady beat is emphasized, and using a metronome is recommended to achieve that. It's also great to use a metronome to keep track of the BPM, or beats per minute, to track the progress of the exercises, scales, rhythm drills, and songs. Playing with the correct technique right from the start is essential. If you've been playing incorrectly, don't worry, changing is always possible. The most critical part of good technique is relaxing your fingers, which is more challenging than it sounds. To achieve the perfect shape of your hands, place them palms up and let them relax. The natural rainbow or half circle curve is what you want. Play on the pads of your fingers and the thumb on the side. The hand and wrist should be slightly raised, never lowered. Keep your hands as still as possible when playing. As a test, place a quarter on your hands and see if it stays on them while playing. Keep the pads of your fingers close to the keys. Never use the hammer effect, raising your fingers before playing. The fingers should act as weights, only going down in action. The only exception is when playing loud or accented notes, where you raise your entire hands for more force. Sit in front of middle C. Sit tall with a straight back. Shoulders and arms relaxed at your side, but not touching your side. Knees at the edge of the keys. Waist at the height of the keys. Sit at the front edge of the bench. If a child's feet can't touch the floor, have them sit on the entire bench. When playing a keyboard, a stand is recommended so it can be adjusted for the correct height of the student. Practicing is an essential part of the learning progress and often the most neglected. If a student forgets to practice or has a busy schedule, it's best to decide on a set time every day to make it part of the student's daily routine for any age or level. Often students don't practice because they're unsure of what to practice. However, this book series gives clear assignments. Each practice will include all the sections assigned. It's better to gauge practice by accomplishing all the assignments rather than a specific amount of time. For beginners, practicing often in short segments is the best way to learn. As you progress, you can practice longer before feeling mentally and physically tired. Make sure to have the instrument in a visible and handy place. When practicing, start a new song or selection by playing it all the way through to get a feel for it. Then break it down for each practice. For a beginner playing a one-page song, the student may play 1 line per practice, repeating it several times. The following line can be played at the next practice, and so on. By the end of the week, the entire song can be played. By immediately repeating short segments, the student will better learn each part. If the whole song is equally challenging, I recommend the multiple measure practice, playing each measure multiple times before going to the next measure. Doing this will take longer to finish 1 line, but when you go back and play the whole line without repeating each measure, you can play it a lot smoother. The next step is to spot practice. There will inevitably be parts of the song that are more challenging than others, and spot practicing will be necessary. Here are some tips for fixing difficult passages of the music depending on the reason of the difficulty. If you play a song correctly but find you often pause, especially at the bar line, what I call a bar break, play at a slow tempo that you can play with a steady beat and without pauses. As you master the slow tempo, you can incrementally increase your tempo until it's at the correct tempo for the song. Playing without any stops is critical to mastering a song. If the rhythm is the challenging part, play the rhythm on 1 note and count out loud. Once you've mastered it, put in the correct notes. If the notes are the difficult part, play the notes slowly without rhythm. As you learn the notes, play with the correct rhythm at a slow tempo with a steady beat, increasing the tempo each time as you improve. If one or both hands are challenging, play them separately. If playing hands together is difficult, alignment practice will help. Play both hands together slowly with no rhythm or steady beat, feeling how the notes align. While pausing for the following notes, keep your hands on the keys you just played to feel the distance between each note or set of notes. As you begin to feel how the notes line up, play with the correct rhythm at a slow tempo and increase the tempo as you can. Another challenge may be the distance between notes. This is not for beginners playing in a 5-note hand position. Position practice is realizing the interval distance between each note or set of notes. Knowing the distance alone may solve it. If not, repeatedly practice the movement between notes without looking at your hands to feel it. If you miss your intended note, notice if you went too far or not far enough and repeat it. In time, you'll get more accurate. If you can't practice for 1 week, don't worry and focus on the following week's practice. Feeling guilty or negative about practicing will only hinder your desire to learn. Learning to play piano or any instrument is a journey and not a sprint. Be patient with yourself and know that in time you'll master it. Please read all the pages on this link for the pre-chapter information before beginning the book series for important information on keyboard geography, finger numbers and notes, rhythm, hand position, and fingering. Thank you again for choosing Melody Music Publishers book app for your music lessons. I hope you enjoy learning or teaching music for a lifetime.